Welcome to Defeat Your Cravings, hosted by Dr. Glenn Livingston, PhD. Glenn has held his doctorate in psychology for more than 30 years and is also a former multi-million-dollar consultant to the big food industry and uses his experience to help you defeat your cravings. This show will help you to focus on dramatically reducing cravings and leave the diet mentality behind, so you can more easily and effortlessly achieve your health, fitness, and body composition goals. Please remember, no doctor-patient relationship is created via this show, and you are responsible for confirming any changes to your diet, health, or psychological routines with an appropriately licensed professional before implementing them. Now, before we get started, if you haven't yet downloaded the free smartphone app to access dozens of these recordings all in one place, as well as to avail yourself of a confidential community for support, motivation, and assistance, please visit the podcast link on defeatyourcravings.com as soon as possible. And now, here's your host, Dr. Glenn Livingston.
Hey, it's the very good Dr. Glenn Livingston, and I am here with a kind-hearted lady named Angel, who has agreed to let us share her session so that you can all benefit from her experience and wisdom and strength and observations, as well as her trials and tribulations and stumbles and falls. How are you, Angel?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for asking. How are you?
I'm doing great. I was looking forward to doing this with you.
Thank you. Me as well.
Tell me a little bit about you and how did you find us?
I found you through Facebook. I was going through and realizing that I had a binge eating problem. I can't stop eating. I've struggled with my weight issues for a very long time. Recently, I reached my highest weight that I said I would never get to, of 300 pounds. And this week, I've actually gone through a really bad incident. I actually had my first ambulance trip, and I was at the park and I was sitting down, and all of a sudden I slipped a disc in my back just from sitting. And I know it's because I'm so heavy and now I can't get out of bed. It's okay. It happens. And I think that's just a sign that I need to change. And I'm so grateful that I found the book and I read through it and I was making all these changes. Yeah.
How can I help?
So I think the biggest problem that I'm having really is a commitment, and I really like takeout and I really like to eat carbohydrates. I like chips and all of those things. I'm just having a really hard time staying dedicated to the plan that I've made.
What's the plan that you made?
I had a conditional of taking the delivery apps off my phone and only letting like somebody else use it on like special occasions.
So we'd say I will never order delivery for myself again.
Right. So that's one that I had. And then another one was I was never going to eat chips again just because that's all I eat is chips. So I need to eat something else. And then another one was always have unlimited fruits and vegetables. Now I'm just trying to go from there.
Okay. And you've been breaking that? You've been having a hard time sticking with that?
Yep. I even had chips this morning. I forgot about everything.
Okay. If we set a lower bar, maybe this bar is too high to get started with. If we set a lower bar, do you think it's possible to have chips in moderation, for example?
I think that's doable.
Let's say you were going to aim towards 250 pounds instead of 300 pounds. What role would chips need to play in your life to get there?
I think it has to take the lower precedence. I feel like I need to make healthier options more available, maybe make my own chips at home of fruits or something.
How often would you eat chips?
Every day.
And would you only eat homemade chips? Is that too high a rule or?
Like if to change? Oh, so I think I would kind of like to limit it to like once or twice a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we said, I will never eat chips more than 2 times per calendar week again.
That sounds really good.
And how many chips are you going to have when you have chips?
Probably a regular portion size, maybe like 40 chips.
40 chips? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's funny. The chip manufacturers, they'll put down that 10 chips is a regular portion size, but show me the person that eats 10 chips.
I know, right?
So 40 chips. So I'll never have more than 40 chips per calendar day and no more than twice per calendar week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That sounds good.
What about takeout? The way it is right now, so I'll never order takeout for myself again. Is that too high a bar? Do you need to make that softer?
Maybe limit it to once every Saturday.
Okay. I will never order takeout for myself except for Saturdays again.
Yeah, that seems more doable.
And no more than one meal on Saturday. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And only one meal on Saturday. And is a meal one restaurant portion or could it be 7?
Probably just like the small, just like a regular.
I'm only asking because I've been through this myself. So,
right.
Okay. Just take a breath and tell me, if you only ordered takeout on Saturdays and no more than one portion, and you only had 40 chips per calendar day, no more than twice per calendar week, let's say that you could follow that 100%. What would happen in a year's time? I know the inner pig says you can't do this. I know there are all these voices that saying that you're not going to make it. But if you could, what would happen? What would be different in a year?
I feel like I would probably be more open to making more changes, more gradual changes. I feel like maybe I would actually lose some weight and feel healthier, more energetic.
How much weight do you think you'd lose in a year if you were able to follow this for a year?
If I could get rid of the carbs, maybe 50.
You'd lose 50 pounds. That's significant.
I think so, because I mean, if you're eating like healthy food and you have a lot of weight to lose.
Comes off kind of quickly. Yeah. It's only 4 pounds a month, so that's pretty good. I think that's realistic, actually, if you stayed with this. You said you'd be healthier and more energetic. What would you do with that energy?
I would probably take up exercise routine, maybe do some yoga or go out for more walks, feel more confident to do those things.
And what would that be like for you?
I think it would be pretty liberating. It'd be leaps and bounds from where I am today.
You'd be experiencing your mobility.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Okay. And you said you'd be healthier. What would be healthier?
Again, I feel like I would be more mobile. I would be more flexible. I'd have less fatigue and just more alertness. No more need for coffee.
What other benefits would there be to being 50 pounds lighter?
I think just an overall positive experience with my health. Like I would just be able to get up and go and live like a normal person in their 20s is supposed to be, rather than being at home and hiding inside and hiding food. And
are you in your 20s?
I am.
So you wouldn't have to hide food and hide inside and be worried about social judgment and all that kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, do you want to commit to this?
I do.
Ordering takeout once a week on Saturday, only one portion, and you get chips twice a week, no more than 40 chips.
That sounds great.
Okay. Tell me then one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if you let the pig blow past this? What if you just ignore these rules and just keep doing what you've been doing for the next 5 years? What would happen?
That's a great question. I think the pig is going to continue to have its way. I think that I'm going to continue to get heavier and be in a worse position than I am now. I've gained like 3 pounds already in the last week, so kind of turn it around and quiet it.
How much heavier would you be in 5 years if you let this go?
I would probably guess around 350.
You could gain another 50 pounds?
I might, another 40, 50 pounds.
Yeah. And your health would get worse. What would get worse?
I feel like I would be stuck in bed like I am. I think that my mobility would really struggle.
Yeah. Okay. You're familiar with the concept of the inner pig?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tell me all the reasons that your pig says that you can't stick to a simple plan for a whole year of only ordering takeout once a week and only one portion and only having chips twice a week and only 40 chips. Why does the pig say you can't do that?
It says that I'll forget, that food doesn't taste very good without these things included in them. It says that I'll just be a big failure and I'll be even heavier. So we might as well just keep eating.
You will fail anyway, so you might as well just keep eating.
Yeah.
What else? I'm writing these down.
I think the pig thinks that I'm a little too scared of what life will be like without it. So that's why I keep sabotaging myself.
You're too scared of life with that pig slop.
Yeah.
So you have to keep sabotaging yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It won't be as enjoyable. No fun.
Why else? Is that all?
That's all I can think of for right now that's coming to mind.
Well, I'd like you to make the assumption that the pig wins by telling you a half truth. So it seems alluring, but then there's a bigger lie inside it. And I want you to help me find the lies, okay? And if you can't do it, ask me and I'll help you.
Okay.
Okay. The pig says you're going to forget. You're going to forget about your rules and therefore you're going to break them. So you might as well just break them now and binge. What's the problem with that?
The problem there is that it's an automatic lack of commitment. We're not even going to try to remember and push everything aside rather than trying to empower myself to stay committed.
Yep. And what I want you to do is read these rules out loud every morning so that you have a hard time forgetting. There's one more thing though, Angel.
Yes.
We envision that every rule is always preceded by what we call the consciously and purposefully clause. So when you say, I'll never have more than 40 chips per calendar day again, and I'll never eat chips more than 2 days per calendar week again, what you really mean is I will never consciously and purposely eat more than 40 chips per calendar day or more than twice per calendar week again. And that's important because it is possible as you're on a learning curve that something happens and you don't remember. You're going to read your food plan. You can read it out loud 3 times a day if you have to, if you find you're forgetting a bunch. But if for some reason you genuinely forgot, I don't want the pig to say, well, you're off the plan now, so all bets are off. I want you to just say, well, okay, I made a mistake. I'm getting right back on. I forgot about that for the moment. The classic story I tell is about me in a Mexican restaurant, and I have a rule that says I'll never have chocolate. Actually, I don't even have the rule anymore. I just never eat chocolate, but that's besides the point. When I did have a rule that said I'll never eat chocolate again, there was a time I was at a Mexican restaurant and I felt really happy after I ate a meal. And I asked the waiter what was in it, and he said there was chocolate in it. And I didn't say, oh my God, I broke my plan. Now I'm just going to binge. I said, well, I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't break the consciously and purposely clause. If I had another bite right now, then I would break it on purpose, but I'm not going to have another bite right now because now I'm awake. Now I remember. It gives you protection against the pig leveraging a genuine accident, but it doesn't give you a leeway to eat whatever you want to consciously because that would be breaking the consciously and purposely clause. Make sense?
And that does. I love it.
Okay. Oh, the pig says you're going to fail anyway, like you always have. So you might as well just keep on doing what you're doing. Let's go get some now, yippee. What's the problem with that?
It's more about not seeing my success, not seeing that reaching those goals is possible.
Yeah.
I think that it's just the pig really wanting the food. So it's just trying to say anything and everything to get me there because I don't like it when I don't succeed at what I want to do.
The pig is saying that if you've been on a highway for 1,000 miles and you didn't take an exit, that you've lost your ability to take the next one.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
But no matter how long you're on a highway without taking an exit, you can still take the next one.
Absolutely.
The other thing is that the more attempts you've had to succeed, the more that you've learned. It's like that George Harrison song, Here Comes the Sun. With every mistake, we must surely be learning. I'm sorry to subject you to my singing.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. So with every mistake, we're learning, right?
Yes.
And the research actually goes along with that. I've seen research that says that people who eventually succeed and keep weight off for 5 years or more have many more attempts behind them than the people that don't. And so it seems like the path to success runs through failure with weight loss. Seems like it almost always does.
I agree.
Good. Pig says life without pig slop is too scary and it's no fun. So you're going to have to sabotage yourself. Otherwise, you're going to have a scary life with no fun. So let's go get some pig slop right now and do it. Yippee.
Yep.
What's the problem with that?
I think that food can be tasty even though it's healthy. Even though my brain thinks that every food needs to have carbs in it, it's probably not the case. Not every meal needs to be takeout.
You haven't totally given up carbs. You're moderating.
Like the process. Yeah. Like the negative carbs.
You're moderating the chips and you're moderating the takeout.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The other thing you should know is that your taste buds will adjust. They've been desensitized by the overstimulation of the unnatural foods that you're eating. When you get those more out of your system, then it takes like 4 to 8 weeks, but then healthier foods start to taste a lot better. And so the pig says, oh, this vegetable tastes like horse poo, but eventually you're going to like it a lot better. Eventually your pleasure sensors in the brain are going to fire like they were supposed to fire before they got overrun by all these supersized stimuli, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, let me ask you, Angel, how confident are you that you're never going to order more than 1 meal of takeout per week and only on Saturdays? and that you're never going to have more than 40 chips a day and no more than twice per calendar week again. How confident are you?
I feel very confident about it. I think that it's more reasonable than what I had started with and something that it's more attainable to stick to.
Would you give me a number?
100%.
Are you feeling 100% confident?
I am.
Oh,
I'm feeling very
terrific.
good about it.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Good for you. Do you have any questions or concerns?
Not at this time.
Just go do it. Just go do it. Make sure you read chapter 3 a couple of times. It's all about processing mistakes and everything. Just go do it. You'll be great.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you meeting with me and for all the advice.
Angel, you're very welcome. I know you can do this.
Thank you.
I hope your disc heals soon.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that brings us to the end of today's broadcast of Defeat Your Cravings, hosted by Dr. Glenn Livingston. Now, if you'd like to find out more about the products and services Dr. Glenn offers to help you dramatically reduce your cravings and stop overeating in 90 days or less, please visit defeatyourcravingscoaching.com. That's defeatyourcravingscoaching.com. Thanks.